Hello, everybody. Welcome to Theme Park Tuesdays.
Hi.
Hey, everyone.
We are live. It is our first official podcast / live stream of Theme Park Tuesdays, and it's good to be back. If you missed it, be sure to check out our little intro stream we did last month. We've been everywhere since then, and we'll get into everything, but we're excited to kick off the podcast officially. Happy June, happy Pride Month. We're all excited to be here, and we hope you are excited too. If you are, be sure to say hi in the chat right now and kind of how this live stream is going to work. Well, first I should reintroduce ourselves. I am Crystal from the Crystal Palace.
I am Nick from Foreverland Fairy Tales.
I'm Kurt from Foreverland.
And I'm Mike from the Park Prodigy.
And all of the above.
Literally, yeah.
And we are a group of theme park fans who really just come together, talk about theme parks, share our authentic park experiences with you all. So thank you, everyone. Ismael and Adela, Penelope, Jean, Zoomers.
Nice.
Hey, guys.
Mountain Dew Guy, thank you all so much for being here. So in this podcast, how it's pretty much going to work is Mike is going to start us off with a news segment, giving us all the latest and greatest news from around the theme park world. And then I will go into where we've been, where we're going. Between the four of us, we're literally in the four corners of the United States. So we're everywhere. And then
We are in the United States.
we are the USA here. We'll go into Theme Park 365, bringing you history of theme parks. And then finally, theme parks around the world, highlighting a theme park every episode. So if anyone else have anything to add?
No, you did great, Crystal. Thank you.
Before this, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to say. So I think that went well. But thank you all so much for being here. We're really excited to get this podcast up and running and talking about theme parks. Today's theme is kind of our hometown parks. We're all going to be talking about parks in our area, which is fun because, like I said before, we're kind of the four corners of the United States: New York, Washington State, California, and Florida. So we have representatives from everywhere bringing you different theme park content. So without further ado, I think we should start this thing off with some theme park news. We have a lot to cover since we last talked. So
I feel like so much has happened in the last month for theme parks. So Mike, you're going to have it cut out for you.
They have kind of been going back and forth with one press release after another. So there's a lot to go over. Of course, there's actually a lot of food in the news this month, and you'll see, especially because I have very, very close ties to loving food. That's going to be a habit here at Theme Park today. So I'm kind of doing a hybrid. I'm talking about my neck of the woods, which is right now Orlando, Florida. So we are going to be specifically talking about Walt Disney World and Universal Orlando, just because going into the summer of 2024, there is so much going on. And starting with Walt Disney World, we do have Tiana's Bayou Adventure, of course, opening in June 28th of 2024. So guests can embark on an enchanting musical adventure inspired by the Disney animated film Princess and the Frog. Now, like I said, Tiana's Bayou is scheduled to open on the 28th, but they are doing cast member previews right now. And there also is going to be annual pass holder previews happening on June 13th, 14th, 16th, 17th, 18th, and then the 20th. So for guests who might not be up to speed, there are two ways to ride this reimagined attraction. The first is going to be the virtual queue on the My Disney Experience app, which is available at 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. The virtual queue won't last forever, as Disney has already stated that a standby line will be coming soon. And then, of course, Tiana's Bayou is going to be added to the Disney Genie Plus, which I was actually surprised about. Were you guys surprised that it wasn't an individual lightning lane?
I was definitely.
Someone's getting a call. I was surprised, but I was also very happy that it's not an individual lightning lane.
Yeah, they definitely would have charged like $25 for it.
Oh,
So.
yeah.
For sure.
Especially in its opening. I know we were just talking about before that it's been going through some rough ride operations in the first 2 days of cast member preview. So hopefully we'll be able to get to ride it for annual pass holder previews.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed on that. It should be very interesting.
If you've ridden it, let us know in the comments. Did you get to ride it? Because has anyone ridden it?
all I've seen is videos of the huge lines.
Yeah, people getting
Does it even
evacuated.
make all the way through?
Yeah.
It's so typical though right now.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's kind of like Tron, but we didn't wait as long. But
Uh-huh.
all right, but sticking with Tiana's Bayou, guests can enjoy New Orleans from Tiana's Bayou Adventure opening at Walt Disney World. Now, this is going to be spread throughout all of Walt Disney World, but specifically there are some really, really cool treats that we are going to be seeing in Magic Kingdom Park. And those are going to be the hot honey chicken with sweet potato fries, shrimp gumbo with sweet potato fries, Tiana's famous beignets, peach cobbler, butter pecan sundae, Princess Tiana sipper, which I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot throughout the parks. We have Tiana's sweet popcorn, and then a Bayou Crunch. But sticking with food, of course, with the 30th anniversary of The Lion King, there has been a lot of news coming out, and I'm not talking about Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's daughter. We opening coming to Disney's Animal Kingdom Park. So, can you feel the flavor tonight? Well, your appetite sure can. That is directly from the Disney marketing team. That is not us. We are a lot better than that. But let's get into what's cooking over at Disney's Animal Kingdom for the 30th anniversary. So we do have the Simba. Let's get into what's cooking over at. I think I just jumped on our live stream on my phone. So we do have the Simba, which is a refreshing mango flavored slushy. Timon's Luau, which is a dessert with vanilla and passion fruit. We have Rafiki squash banana, and we have the Zenzi strawberry lemonade, and then of course the Zayu Dole Whip lime and coconut float. What are you guys most interested about everything I just mentioned?
Ooh, I don't know. I think the squash banana.
I would say
is baobab fruit, vanilla, cinnamon, and cardamom. That sounds absolutely delicious. We'll be flying to Florida to get that.
I don't know if we've ever had a Dole Whip at Animal Kingdom before. I'm not that up to speed on the
we have
the snacks over there.
Simba float, Mike, and it wasn't that great though. That's the thing, is we need something better. I personally don't like the Simba float. Don't hate me. Don't sue me.
Well, listen, we have all of June, so be sure to go follow Theme Park Today, because I'm sure that I will be snacking on a bunch of that, giving you guys some food reviews.
Yeah,
Let's jump over. Next, we have a first look inside the new Island Tower guest rooms at Disney's Polynesian Village and Bungalows. And so this is projected to open on December 17, 2024. But if you guys have been around Magic Kingdom, around the parking garage, I don't know how they're going to open this by December 17, 2024, because it's essentially just a cement structure right now. So the 10-story tower will feature a variety of room types, complete with original artwork inspired by the Polynesian Islands. And then, of course, a lot of the inspiration is also coming from the Walt Disney Animation film Moana. So in the new hotel, they're going to have duo studios for families of 4, 1 and 2 bedroom villas for the entire family, and then a new 2-bedroom penthouse villas. Have you guys seen the duo studios, as they call it?
No.
Dude, it's kind of crazy. It's essentially, it's like smaller than a regular hotel room from what it looks like, and they just have one pulled down bed.
What?
But it's like deluxe pricing. It's kind of crazy.
It's probably going to be $700 tonight.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Pop Century room, like literally, the new Pop Century rooms sound exactly like that.
And hey, listen, I think I might be staying at Pop if this is kind of what we're what we're being told. But guests can
rooms at a deluxe price.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Imagine spending $800 a night and you have to pull down your bed every night.
I would not.
But if you are interested in that, I probably will do it eventually. I can't lie, just to get the experience. On starting tomorrow, June 5th, Walt Disney World annual pass holders can start booking rentals. And then June 6th, all other guests can start making their reservations online. But we've spoken enough about Walt Disney World. Let's go over to our favorite, and that is Universal Orlando. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on in Universal this summer. and specifically starting with DreamWorks Land, which is technically in dress rehearsal right now, but it is preparing for its debut on June 14th, 2024. And be sure to go check out the Crystal Palace because she will be there opening day to keep you guys up to speed on everything going on. We also have Sensational, which is a new I should have practiced this before I got on it. Cinephonic Spectacular, which is a riveting new nighttime lagoon show. And then we also have the other show over in Hogsmeade Village, which is going to be Hogwarts Always, which I'm really, really excited about, which is an all-new castle projection show within the Wizarding World, of course. Both of those new nighttime shows are debuting on June 14th, 2024, of course. And then we do have the Summer Tribute Store, which is now open. I would say I didn't go last year, but Crystal, you could kind of touch on this a little bit more. I'm kind of disappointed that they moved it over to the new location. I kind of liked it better when it was right across from Jimmy Fallon's.
I love the New York location. So it seems like what they're doing now is all tribute stores besides Halloween will be in Hollywood so that they can prepare pretty much like all year round for the Halloween Horror Nights tribute store in New York. That's how it was last year. Not sure if that's how it's going to be this year. I'm sure that's what they're going to do. But yeah, I love the New York location. I think it was like a better flow. They did recently change the entrance and the exit. They swapped it, which did make it a little better going in the exit. So I'm excited to see this new summer one, though. From what I've seen in pictures, it looks great, and I want to check out it in person. It's kind of giving like Stranger Things 3 vibes with like the arcade, the retro. So they always do a great job with the tribute store.
Crystal, you're such an optimist because I'm sitting over here fuming. I hate change. I don't like it. I need to see it.
I'm glad this is how.
So it doesn't matter either where it is.
You have to come, Kurt. I'm glad this is how our first stream is going because this is very us. This is very on brand. So it's good stuff.
We're yappers. So yeah. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Sticking with the Halloween Horror Nights theme, did you guys catch the new Halloween Horror Night Haunted Houses announcements? So there have been at least 6 so far, including the Museum, Deadly Exhibits, Triplets of Terror, Slaughter Cinema 2, Monstrous, The Monsters of Latin America, Major Sweets Candy Factory, and Goblin's Feast. So what other ones do you guys think that they're going to announce?
Oh, gosh. I feel like they haven't announced any of their big name ones yet. What was a big horror theme last year?
I kind of feel like they're going to do Psycho.
Psycho. Ooh, that would be fun.
Yeah,
Definitely be fun.
A lot of people want to see Five Nights at Freddy's in some form.
That'd be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a Universal movie, but it would be so cool to do a Quiet Place house.
Ooh.
That would be so cool. Having like a full soundproof like building.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be wild.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just have to wait and see. We're all really, really excited. And of course, in Orlando, Halloween will be here in 2 months. So we will keep you guys posted. And then last but not least, of course, we already knew this was coming, but Universal did announce the official information on Epic Universe, specifically Super Nintendo World and Donkey Kong Country. So we are all very, very excited for that. But that is pretty much the news, everyone. We do also have a parade coming in July of 2024 at Universal Orlando, but that's the news here in Orlando. And I'm really happy I got through that in one piece.
Yay.
That was a very great news segment.
It's a lot to cover. They're competing right now of releasing stuff. So
They are.
I also would just like to interject that I think that there still should be a Lady Gaga house.
Oh,
It was teased last year and nothing ever happened with it.
a Monster Ball house.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
I would have to come to California, or you would have to come to Orlando to
Yeah.
experience that together.
Yes.
Yep.
That would be amazing. One other thing that's coming to Halloween Horror Nights this year that I find pretty interesting, and I really want to hear what people think about this, is they're doing a premium Scream night. It's going to be the night before Halloween Horror Nights kicks off. So it's August 29th this year, and it's going to be $350 for all guests, $325 for annual pass holders. The tickets go on sale on June 6th, so 2 days. And it's kind of going to be a limited capacity event, preview night of Halloween Horror Nights. You also get unlimited food and drinks. They're going to send you through the houses in groups, staggered groups. So you really get all the scares. Because sometimes like you're walking through the Halloween Horror Nights houses and you don't really get the scare effect because someone like 4 people in front of you got scared. So you know it's coming.
Mhm.
So what do you guys think about that? This premium Scream night?
Oh, I would do it in a heartbeat. I feel like that's the way that I would want to do Halloween Horror Nights.
I kind of feel like this could be opening a door where it's more similar to, like a Mickey's Not So Scary, where there is like food or even sodas and stuff like that included,
Mhm.
right? And if someone in the chat, Jean had mentioned, is anyone going to Orlando Informa? And maybe they're taking a piece out of that book where they see like, hey, a private event like this could work, and they're trying to, capitalize on that. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely am going to try to get tickets.
Yeah.
I really like the limited capacity idea because I go opening night every year and it's absolute madness.
Yeah.
Like craziness. So having limited capacity might be worth it. It's kind of like buying an express ticket for opening night.
Sure.
Mhm.
With the price.
Yeah, which is like so nice. And like, if any of you have followed my stuff on Disney Dancer, like I don't ever do opening night stuff because it's just too overwhelming for me.
Yeah.
Like there's crowds, the lines are way too long. You don't get to experience a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Like actually we're going to Pride Night at Disneyland, and we chose the second night for that purpose.
It's also the first night too. Is always like growing pains of of getting everything set up, and even though they do this every year, it's still.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. I also like to plan ahead. Like I also want to know like my game plan for the evening. I don't want to just show up and run around as I discover what the park has to offer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have never gone to Halloween Horror Nights because of the crowds, one, and because if I want to experience a house, I feel like I'm going to be sensory overload because you're like kind of corralled through and like you can't really experience it. So yeah, that's nice.
Well, you guys should come to Orlando.
We'll see.
Well, moving on to our next segment, where we've been this month and where we are going. So since we last spoke on YouTube live stream, I was in Italy, not doing theme park stuff, but just where I've been. But I've also been to Playland Park in New York for their opening day, and it had a very rough opening day. Now, this park, you can see here, actually opened in 1928. It is an absolute classic. This is a dragon coaster that has been up and running since 1929. It wasn't running on opening day, so I didn't get to ride it. But it's, I don't really have a lot of words for this. It truly, like, I don't actually think they've done anything to it since 1929. So.
Was it called the Dragon Coaster in 1929?
I think it was actually, yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, so this is a year younger than the Cyclone in Coney Island.
Wow.
And it's still operating today. Playland Park has a bunch of other attractions, opening day attractions that are still operating, like the Whip. The Whip is crazy. The Carousel. It's really nice though. It's on the Long Island Sound. So that's Playland Park. It's an experience. That's
no.
Later this week, we are headed to Lake Compounce, which is located in Connecticut. My parents always used to take me here growing up. It's actually the oldest continuously operating amusement park in North America, which is pretty cool. This is another park with a lot of history. It opened in 1846, pretty much just as like a campground, a park. And the first ride was a carousel that made its debut in 1911. So I'm really excited to get back to Lake Compounce. It's been a few years now, and yeah, they have some really, really fun attractions here. So it's a lot of history, a lot of things to see, a lot of things to talk about at Lake Compounce.
That's so cool. Like
It is cool.
1846.
Yeah.
The carousel's been open that long too?
The carousel opened in 1911.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah. And it's kind of like in the middle of nowhere, Connecticut, which I find really interesting. How it's the oldest continuously operating amusement park, like kind of in the middle of nowhere. Like back then, especially, who's going there?
It's going up in a horse and buggy.
Literally.
And of course, we'll be heading down to Universal Orlando for DreamWorks Land and the new nighttime shows, trying to ride Tiana's. We'll see how that goes. As Kurt mentioned before, Kurt and Nick will be headed to Pride Night later this month. So be sure to stay tuned to Theme Park Today for a lot of that content. This is a really fun after hours event they have in Disneyland. You're not going to want to miss out on any of that fun. And Nick is going to talk about it a little more soon, but she'll be headed to the Enchanted Forest in Oregon. This is another really charming family-run and operated park they have in Oregon. And we do have a blog about it on Theme Park Today.
I do. Yes. I wrote about my experience. I went last September and it was wonderful. So check out our blog.
Yeah, definitely check out the blog and stay tuned for more content on Instagram and YouTube. And we'll definitely be posting a lot because this place is so charming. It's so cute. It makes me want to go out to Oregon.
You
I
have
know. I'm excited to see. I know you went last year, but I'm excited to see more about it this year.
I know I missed a ton last year. I just, the first time you go to a park, well, when I go to a park, I get really overwhelmed. And even though it was tiny, I just was like, I can't find everything. Let's do what we can and go. And I missed like a comedy show. There's musical performances that I missed.
I was gonna say I saw that they have like so much more I guess entertainment.
Mhm.
like just like not rides, right? Like they have so many more rides or like stuff to do other than going on attractions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the charming parks, and that's kind of like on Theme Park Today. What we really want to highlight is, of course, Disney, Universal are so great, but there's also so many, like this park is family run.
Yep.
And it's in Oregon, and we would love to like highlight.
It's like a real life roller coaster tycoon.
One man decided. Yep.
That's crazy.
So it's cool. We get to share those experiences. So stay tuned for that. And Kurt is holding the fort down over in Disneyland. Mike's holding the fort down in Disney World and Orlando. And that's what you can expect from us this month.
I'm so excited for you to go to DreamWorks World Land. I want you to try a Shrexicle and the Shrek pretzel. Shrexel.
The Shrexel.
I want to try everything at that little stand. I heard that the swamp dogs are really good. Like the Shrek hot dog.
Sorry.
The swamp dog.
That is not the name. That is not
it is.
You're lying. That's made up.
God.
That's made up.
What was that?
Fully the swamp dogs.
The swamp dog.
I'm telling you, Disney's in trouble because that's the marketing we're getting at Universal, and they're over here. Can you feel the flavor tonight? That was directly from the Disney World, the Disney blog.
I'm also looking at chat, and Nicole, I actually did bring up Six Flags Great America in Gurnee, Illinois before we started streaming as my personal hometown park, mine and Kurt's original hometown park. And we will not be talking about that.
I feel like I would like to claim my actual hometown park is Old World, Wisconsin.
Yes.
Where we get to learn how to turn butter.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. That's my segment.
We're on to the next topic.
And we're off to Kurt.
Hey, okay, so if you know anything about me, which you probably don't, I love history. So that's one of the reasons why Disneyland is my favorite park out of all of them, because there's a lot of theme park history. But it was really hard, and I made myself not pick Disneyland as my Disneyland or as my theme park history 365, whatever we're calling this section. And it was also really difficult to choose which one because there are over 20 theme parks in Southern California.
Wow.
So that was fun.
That's crazy.
So I decided on Belmont Park because we have our own resident Belmont here with us right now. And I just thought that was a sign. But Belmont Park is actually located where I live in San Diego. It's about 40 minutes south from me. So I haven't been there yet, but it's right down the road from SeaWorld on Mission Beach. And they're actually going to celebrate their 100th anniversary next year.
Wow.
which is wild. And like I know Disneyland just did their 100th anniversary, but as a company. So
Right.
this is like the 100th anniversary of a theme park, which is kind of insane to me. They opened on July 4th, 1925.
Wow.
Yeah, which is wild. But yeah, so they originally opened under the name Mission Beach Entertainment Center. If
Mm,
that doesn't sound fun, I don't know what does. Good thing they changed their name. But the park really only consisted of a wooden roller coaster, which is still standing today, which is cool, and the world's largest saltwater pool.
what do you do in it at Belmont
You
Park?
just swim.
Right next to the ocean.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was saltwater too, right? So that was, I guess, a choice for the 20s. But yeah, so it was the world's largest saltwater pool, and it held 400,000 gallons of salt water.
Okay.
Yeah, so those were the two attractions that they had there. There's a lot more now, more like classic, I guess, kind of carnival-y theme park rides. But the coaster is still there, so that's pretty cool. And the plunge pool was actually the name of that saltwater pool.
Oh,
It was really cool because it was, I mean, massive. It was the world's largest. But like I said, it no longer exists, but you can still see, I think they said you can still see the arches of the entrance, these steps that went into the pool. And then there was like a pedestal at the back of the pool that you could, like, that are still standing there today, that you can see. And it was all constructed in like the Spanish Renaissance style. Which is all over San Diego, but especially in Balboa Park. So I thought that was really cool that they kept some of that, even though the pool is no longer there.
cool.
Yeah, but just really quick, not to bore everybody on the stream with my like weird history things, but I just want to talk about the coaster because the coaster is really cool, and it's been through a lot. So it opened in 1925, like I said, with the park. But by the late 60s, kind of early 70s, the park really stopped seeing a lot of traffic because SeaWorld had opened literally down the street. And SeaWorld actually opened closer to the highway. So I guess just not a lot of people or locals were going to Belmont Park anymore. And plus, SeaWorld had a lot more to offer, which I also didn't know was the original SeaWorld. So that was fun to find out. I truly thought Orlando was the first one, but it was San Diego in 1964.
Huh. Wow.
Which we don't have an article about it, but we were just invited and hosted at SeaWorld San Diego to experience one of their summer festivals. And hopefully we'll be there again in the future. So follow us on Instagram to see all that fun stuff. Yeah, so the park ended up closing in 1976. So it was just kind of sitting there, I think, for about 10 years. And it was just a rundown roller coaster, an empty pool. So then the city of San Diego sold it to be a commercial shopping area. So now there's like a bunch of like boardwalk shops and kind of stuff like that around the area. But then they also, a year later in 1988, reached out to investors to kind of restore this roller coaster. And they actually, I'm pretty sure they through the city of San Diego, registered it as a historic landmark of San Diego.
Wow.
Which I think is really cool. I don't know of many roller coasters that are registered historic landmarks of a city or of an area.
Wow.
Yeah, so San Diego and a bunch of other developers formed a company called the San Diego Coaster Company to restore this coaster. It's called the Big Dipper. And after $2 million, more than $2 million, the coaster reopened on August 11th, 1990. And since then, it's become so popular with a new generation of theme park goers that they've added a second car to the track. So it's still like an original wooden coaster, which I feel like you don't really have a lot of those anymore. And yeah, I think that's really cool and a fun thing about San Diego.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that's my local history hometown park.
We have to go. The four of us, theme park today.
Yeah, I feel like after doing all that research on it, I was like, I feel, especially because it's Belmont Park.
Yeah, if I have to
feel
get
like
a
we have to go, even if it's just a roller coaster.
Right. Yeah.
I actually have been to Belmont Park. When I went to San Diego in 2022, we kind of just like stumbled upon it, but we were there was actually there for Halloween. So they had a really fun trunk or treat in the parking lot of Belmont Park. So if you're there around the fall time and Halloween, make sure to check it out because it was also like a car show trunk or treat, and they had all these really cool cars that were all decorated for Halloween. They had like Ghostbusters and Scooby-Doo, and it was a really fun little activity that we ran into. So we didn't go on the roller coaster though. Now I really
come back.
So we're gonna have to come back.
Mhm.
Also, and I think it was the second photo that was on the slide. I wasn't watching the thing, but there was this. Oh, it's so small you can't see it. On the sign under the mobile gas station, it says that gas is 29 cents.
Oh my god,
I can't see it,
29
yeah.
cents per gallon, which is just
$4 here. Oh my
Those
gosh.
were the days.
Yeah.
Well, I really liked that. That was really cool.
Yeah, really.
yeah. I love
interesting.
history, so I'm just going to be talking a lot about history of theme parks and stuff like that on my segment. I'm going to try to narrow it down to like the day of our recording, so that we can be like, what happened today in theme park history? But yeah, I love it, and I think it's great. So I'm going to
That's
tell
great.
everybody about it, whether you like it or not.
Has anyone in the chat been to Belmont Park or anywhere in San Diego? I know Kurt had fun at SeaWorlds and not too far from Legoland out there in California too.
Mhm.
So we're going to have to do a theme park today San Diego trip.
Yeah.
I will say I will not go to Legoland by myself. I will either wait until you all come or there are children in my family close enough in age to go to a theme park, because it just is like the one theme park that is like so focused on kids that I just feel weird being there by myself.
But just the California one. The Florida one is totally like not weird if you go by yourself. There's so much to do in the Florida one. California, it's literally like kiddie playland, and that's it. You know,
That's like New York too.
yeah.
James has been to Belmont Park.
Oh,
So
very
cool.
cool. Great small park. We have to go.
Definitely. All right. Nick, would you like to
Yes.
take it away?
Sure. All right. So, theme parks around the world, but we're keeping it in the United States today. Because since it's our hometown stream, I have to talk about the Enchanted Forest, which we already teased. So here we go. Also, just all the info I got, I'm going to go into a little bit of history, was taken from the Enchanted Forest website. Their website is really nice, has a lot of information on it, feels more of like, you'll see, it's very family centered, very nice, and I don't know the word I'm looking, wholesome. That's the word I'm looking for, wholesome. But anyway, Enchanted Forest. So I live pretty close to Portland, and Enchanted Forest is in this town called Turner, and it's about an hour from Portland, right out of Salem. A lot of people just say it's in Salem because it's so close, but this park is so cool. It's a small fairy tale themed park. And it is built into the side of the hills of Oregon, like right in the forests and the vegetation. There's a handful of rides, walkthrough attractions, shows. There's some hand sculpted art elements, which kind of like double as an attraction from the owner. I love this park. It is really small. It's really intimate. It reminds me of a place that you go as a kid and you like truly think the magic is real. It has very Mother Goose vibes, like if you were to actually go into a Mother Goose book. And I love that. I absolutely love that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the history, because last night I was reading their website and I'm such an emotional person, but I was crying a little bit last night because the owner is so like wholesome.
Aww.
So just listen to this. I feel like I have a personal connection with this guy because he was born in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. He then moved to Astoria at a very young age, then went off to the Korean War, came back, married his wife, and moved to Camas, which is where I live. So that is crazy. He opened a small jewelry store in Camas, and that failed. So he then took a job as a draftsman and an artist, which is kind of where he started gaining his skills, which he would use later for Enchanted Forest. I don't know if you've ever been to Oregon. It's absolutely beautiful, but there might not be too much for kids to do. And they noticed that. So Robert decided he wanted to build Roger decided he wanted to build something for his kids. And I love this because he was just a dreamer and was just like, I'm dreaming, I'm an artist. And actually, a lot of people doubted him. They used to call Enchanted Forest Idiot Hill because it was quite literally on a hill. And his friends and coworkers used to call it Idiot Hill. But
that's rough, but honestly, I feel like if I made a theme park, you would also call it Idiot.
No, Roger didn't deserve that, but we do.
No, I think we'd get more clever than that also.
Yeah. Robert kind of said, screw you to those people, and decided to self-finance this project. All of Enchanted Forest came out of Roger's pocket, and he did that by repairing watches and doing everything on his own in his spare time. So like their backyard was full of these hand sculpted, there's like sculptures that he would work on. And so finally it came up to almost time to opening, and they needed $2,000 to finish the park, and not one bank would take a chance on them. And they finally got one bank to give them $2,000. So, finished the park in 7 years. And then finally on August 8th, 1971 at 2 p.m., Roger and his wife Mavis hung up a piece of butcher paper that said open. And the first visitors entered the park. Admission was only $1 for adults and 50 cents for children. And there were 75 people on the first day and 1,000 people by next Sunday.
That's a lot.
I know. I was like, wow. So with that, Roger's dream came true. And now Roger is in his 90s, but as the business progressed, his wife was like the business head, and Roger was the creative dreamer who continued to expand and make art in the park. And I love their story. It makes me so emotional because I feel like we are all dreamers, and he truly had a dream. And against all odds, he said, I'm doing it. But now you can visit Enchanted Forest. Tickets are $27 at the gate or $23 in person for adults. And there are attractions and whatnot. But I'm going to kind of go through what I recommend because it's... I could talk about Enchanted Forest all day, so I kind of had to like narrow it down. So what I recommend to do there is definitely Storybook Lane. If you want to see Roger's art, go to Storybook Lane. He hand sculpted a lot of, as you can see, Humpty Dumpty, like he hand sculpted a lot of these things, and they've got a lot of those old Mother Goose tales, Alice in Wonderland, some old Disney tales that were turned into Disney. They didn't start as Disney. I love Storybook Lane though.
Which is like so cool.
Yes.
Like it's cool that like the guy who opened it like handcrafted those.
Yes.
And like
yes.
They're also that they're like still standing.
Still standing, and they look amazing. And what's so cool is you walk through Storybook Lane, it's truly in an Oregon forest. And I know I already said this, but if you haven't been to Oregon, we have really cool forests, huge trees with green moss, and it is like you are in a storybook. It's very cool. The next thing I recommend is the water show. It's really small. The room is really tiny, but it's cute. And if you have kids, they will be mesmerized by these lights. The comedy show, which I haven't seen, but I heard it's a spoof of like all Disney princesses, and they kind of like make fun of the whole Disney storyline. And then lastly, there are some rides. What I was going to say at the end is some things to keep note of is if you're expecting to go there and get Disneyland, Disney World, Universal type of experience, you're going to be really disappointed. Like my favorite ride is Challenge of Mondor, and it is a trackless ride, but it's just not, it's not Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, but you can tell that there was a lot put into it. The theming is just a little bit slower. So I like to go because of the history. I don't go because it's the most thrilling theme park in the world, right? So just keep that in mind. When you go, you're not going to have a Disney experience. So yeah, other things to keep note of. It can be very tough to walk around if you have mobility issues, which I do. And there are just some parts of the park that are not ADA accessible. And Roger Toft has addressed this, and to tear down those areas and level them, it just like would put the park out of business. As we mentioned in the beginning, a family started this with their own money. They don't have millions of dollars to just knock down a part of the park, but they do their best to help disabled guests and guests with mobility issues to get around. So if you have any worries, literally like the owner will drive you around on a golf cart if you can't get around. So yeah, just that's I really love this park. And for fantasy lovers, for unique park lovers, for theme park history lovers, you will love this park. So go support Enchanted Forest. Go support a family-owned business. They've had some adversities. They almost closed in 2021 because of a horrible ice storm we had. Then the community fundraised about $500,000 for them to stay open. COVID almost took them out. So we want to support local. We want to support families. And you should go to Enchanted Forest.
Also, don't they have like a haunted?
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. So
That was like my favorite thing that you did last year.
Okay, so they have a haunted house attraction, and it's like you kind of think it's going to be like Haunted Mansion, but like it is truly terrifying. Like,
Honestly, that photo is truly terrifying. On the right.
it's oh yeah, that's the old woman who swallowed a fly. But the
Are
house,
you the fly?
yes, you are the fly. This house is like an old creepy mansion, and you like walk around. It's a walking attraction, but it's like they cut the music, and it's like I might be walking through someone's haunted house. Like which side note about Oregon and Washington were apparently very haunted, and there is some lore about Enchanted Forest being haunted because it is right in the middle of the forest. So check out the haunted house, because I don't get the heebie-jeebies, and my butt was hightailing it through that haunted house. So yeah, there's lots of cool stuff to do. Lots of stuff for kids if you have little ones. Yeah, just go to Enchanted Forest. You'll love it.
I kind of feel like my vote would be for Enchanted Forest before the Belmont. I'm sorry, Kurt. I know you live in there.
I would also rather go there instead of Belmont.
Yeah.
It does sound awesome. You really made me want to book a flight. And I also just linked the Enchanted Forest article. So if you are interested in learning more, you can look in our chat, and it's also the pinned message.
Yay.
Yeah, and while you're there, just like bum around and look at other articles.
Yeah.
If you're interested in Tokyo Disneyland, we have a couple Tokyo Disneyland articles.
We have been around the theme park block, but really excited for stuff coming up. I will be going to Enchanted Forest at the end of the month, and going to do a whole new walk around, do the comedy show, see some live music there, and we'll be sharing that on our Instagram, which you should be following us if you're not.
Yep. At Theme Park Today on Instagram.
Look at that.
Yeah.
At themeparktoday.com.
Here it is.
You are a streaming wizard.
you know, my little pop-up banners I have here. Well, definitely let us know in the chat and in the comments what parks you would want to see us go to. We're always looking to explore new places, new parks.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nicole, we are not going to Six Flags. We have been to Six Flags.
Which one though? There's
Six
so
Flags
many.
Great America, the one in Gurney, Illinois.
I kind of want to go there though. No,
I went there a couple years ago, and it was such a shock to your system from going to other theme parks. I'm pretty sure the chicken fingers, like you get 3 chicken fingers, no fries, no sides, no drinks. $25.
At least $25.
So expensive.
If there isn't a massive fight, or some sort of cop being called, like it's
brawl.
not even Six Flags. A brawl. There's brawls every day.
You want to know where I really want to go, but it's not a theme park? Williamsburg. Colonial Williamsburg.
Stop.
We might as well go to Busch Gardens then.
That's I think that's actually going top on my vote for the next theme park today trip.
You know where I really want to go that I never went when I was living in New York? Coney Island.
Oh, you're missing out.
Yeah,
Never been. I really want to go.
Yeah, it's an experience. You gotta get a Nathan's hot dog. Oh, so good.
I only had them from the Smithtown Mall.
There's an Italian restaurant up the block, Kurt. You'll go to both. It's called Gargiulo's. What we used to do is we used to go to the Italian restaurant. Me and my grandfather would sneak out and go get hot dogs.
Oh.
Stop.
We'll give you the real Coney Island experience. You got to come in the summer though.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like we have a lot of traveling to do. We have to go to
We do.
New York. We have to go to San Diego. You guys have to come to
Oregon. Mike wants to go to Williamsburg.
Mike. We're going to Williamsburg.
We're gonna be churning
Really a lot
butter.
in our future. So if you're subscribed, you're in for the long haul.
Go hit that subscribe button. If you have not, we do have a lot of very
Gurney.
exciting videos coming out.
We do. Yes.
A lot of fun coming up. And if you're looking to plan a trip to Disney, Universal, be sure to go check out theparkprodigy.com.
Use the promo code, the Crystal Palace 10.
No, the theme park today 10.
That's right. Theme Park
Whatever.
10.
You'll get a
I'm
discount.
not being selfish, Mike.
To be honest, I actually forgot I created this one. So I was just trying to plug someone in this, but we'll figure something out. I'll figure out a way. If you come to me, if you want to book a vacation, email me, Mike at theparkprodigy.com. I'll combine Theme Park Today 10 and the Crystal Palace 10, and we'll give you $20 off your vacation.
There
Look
you
at
go. The theme park today and Crystal Palace 20. That's the new code.
PPTKP 20.
Plan your next vacation on us.
All right, well,
That was a great second episode.
Yeah, we can't do a Wisconsin goodbye. We
I know.
cannot be on here all night, even though it's fun.
Yeah, it's way past my bedtime.
Yeah, Mike.
thanks for staying up, Mike. Thank you, everyone. If you want to say hi in the chat, be sure to say hi. We appreciate you all being here. Peter wants to go to Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Where's that at? LA?
That sounds like a Disney movie.
Six Flags Magic Mountain. It's that's the one in it's like North LA.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We should do Universal Hollywood Part 2, go to Magic Mountain, then hit all the San Diego stuff.
I agree.
So
All right.
thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everyone. See you
Appreciate
next
it.
month.
And
Bye.
yeah,
Thanks
we'll
for
see you
watching.
next month for Theme Park Tuesday.
Yay.
We have to figure out a wrap up. Figure out a.
I know. We need a catchphrase. Oh, I did it again.
That's the
Oh, that is
That's
the
the
catchphrase.
wrap-up. When
On
I
that note,
all right,
Yeah.
have a good night.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.